Hi there, my name is Ben Worthington. This video will look at how to choose your IELTS tutor, whether you should go for a native or non-native speaker, and the dirty tricks that some academies or teachers will play and how to spot them and how to deal with them. But first, I'll just tell you that there are three industries that are three professions that cannot really guarantee or whether the results are not completely dependent on the worker. These are medicine and agriculture, and the third one I'll tell you at the end of the video. Okay, so then ask these questions before you decide to pay a teacher or the academy. Okay, you're totally in your right to ask these questions. After all, it's you who's paying. So first one, do they have any IDP or British Council experience? Can they guarantee results? Can they at least promise some improvement in one of the disciplines, whether it's speaking, listening, or writing or reading? Okay, can they promise at least half a band improvement at least? That's not much. Okay, and can they offer you a refund if they don't give you that improvement? I do. Okay, I'll tell you about that later. Also, you should ask whether the teachers, are they career dedicated professionals, or are they backpackers looking to earn a quick dollar before they go on to the next city? Okay, so bear that in mind. Also, you want to ask whether the academy or the teacher has a system, if they have a process for teaching, or if it's just a traditional whiteboard, blackboard, listen, explain, all that kind of stuff. Okay, because at least if they've got a system, then going with the with the native speaker who's just backpacking, the results are less risky for you. You also want to know who else is going to be in the class with you. If it's a group of students with all the same nationality and you go in there, then it's going to make it a little bit uncomfortable for you. Okay, so all of these are important factors to consider. You should also ask if the student or academy has any references, if they've got any testimonials from past students, or if you could even contact some of the past students before you start the class, just to get a feeling, just to talk with them, ask them how it was, if they improved it, if they did get the results the academy promised. And then the final thing, ask for a free trial class. Trial class is very important because you'll just get a taster before you start, and most decent, honest academies or teachers will offer you at least, very minimum, 30 minutes for free before you even pay a cent. Okay, so bear that in mind. Now, in the next section, we're going to look at native speakers. Should you go for a native IELTS tutor, a native English speaking IELTS tutor, or a non-native IELTS speaking English tutor? Well, there's a few advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of a native English speaker is that their pronunciation will be perfect. Unless they're from Liverpool, then it will be bad. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But having a teacher from England, Ireland, Canada, wherever, will give you a lot more confidence when it comes to speaking, because you'll be certain that they're pronouncing it correctly, and it will and it's important because it's the first time you learn the word, so you want to learn it correctly, because the first time you learn it is probably the way you're going to use it from then on. Okay, also native speakers will have a natural rhythm, a natural flow regarding how they speak, and this will help you, and this is the kind of flow that you want to adopt. I mean, some non-native speakers will have this as well, but I mean, if they've lived in the US for the last 20 years, then they're going to have it. Or if they've lived in the UK for a long time, then they will have it. But the problem is that it's going to be difficult for you to recognize it being learning English, okay? And so it's quite important. Now, another advantage of a native English speaker is that they can give you some insights and some stories into the culture behind the language. And that's quite handy as well, you know. You get to learn a little bit more, go a little bit further into the language, and it'll help you remember things as well. Okay, now regarding non-native speakers, okay, they can offer you lots of advantages as well, especially if they speak your native language, because they can just instantly translate it, or they can give you insights, grammatical insights into the language from the native language point of view. Okay, and they'll probably know the difficulties that, I don't know, for example, Russian speakers have. If the speakers are Russian and they're teaching you English, they'll probably know all those kind of difficulties typically that Russian speakers encounter when they come to learning English. So that's a massive advantage. Okay. Secondly, as well, being from the same culture as you, I assume that they'll also know how to motivate you. Yeah, they'll know. They'll be a bit more closer to you, and it'll be a bit easier for you when it comes to teaching and getting you motivated as well, which is a key factor. Now, the conclusion. Okay, just explain that like a discursive essay. But anyway, and to summarize, to conclude, I would say it depends on you. It depends on your learning methods. Okay, if you find that you work better with a non-native speaker, then go with them. So the key here is really just to test, to experiment. Do a class there, do a class there, just see which one works for you. And the most important thing really is just to measure your improvements. Okay, and then you've got it down on paper which one works best for you. Now, the final section. Here we're going to look at some of the dirty tricks that some teachers or academies do, and how to spot them and what to do when it does happen. Okay, so I'll just start off with a little story. I started at an academy once, and one of the one of the academy owners just threw me a textbook and basically just pushed me into the class, and I was like, what? And he was like, just make them smile, make them happy, that's it, make them laugh, you know. And the reason why they say that is because if you've got happy students, then they're going to come back, and you know, and only the smart ones will think, hey, hang on a second, I'm not learning here, you know. But if they're happy and they'll come back for the next season, pay another season's another terms, fees, blah blah blah, everybody's happy. Okay, it's not really that good. So if you've got a teacher who's just always, it's all kicks and giggles, as we say in the UK, if it's all just kicks and giggles, laughing, having a good jolly old time, then I mean, that's fine if you are actually learning, but just check if you are learning. Okay. Second point is be careful of teachers who just want to do lots and lots of listening practice. Okay. One teacher told me once, she said, Ben, just go in the classroom, get your textbook out, find a chunk of text, read it really fast so nobody understands it, ask them if they understand it, and they'll say no, then read it again, and then nobody will understand it again, ask them, of course, and nobody understands it, and then read it again, but say you're going to do it slowly. And she says, Ben, you can kill 15 minutes doing this. I thought, what a disaster, what a disaster. So be careful. If your IELTS tutor's doing this, then you know exactly what game they're playing. Another variation is to just walk into the classroom. How was your weekend? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? Bang! 30 minutes of your education that you paid for has just disappeared while you listen to Jackie's weekend. Yeah, waste of time. Try to avoid those situations. Another variation is coming into the class. Okay, what did you do the weekend? Blah blah blah. And then now we're going to do a listening. Bang! Press play, and we'll listen to a podcast for 30 minutes. Okay. Do not let your teacher do this. Okay, they're just wasting time. I got criticized in the past for doing no listening exercises. As some of the students, they complained, And I was like, well, they can just do the listening at home. What is the problem? They don't need me to press play. But then I realized that, okay, some listening is necessary, okay, but it must be accompanied by some tips or some strategies or like a full explanation. Like, okay, listen for the contractions in this audio, or listen to how they change the pronunciation when it's a negative, and all the rest of it, okay? Or look how they just paraphrasing the question and repeating it, but are they actually saying this, or are they saying that, okay? That kind of listening exercise is good and it should be done, but in moderation, okay? If your teacher's walking into every single class, pressing play, then complain, because it's not right. Now, if the final thing that I was saying about the guaranteeing results, and that the outcome is not dependent on them. Well, this is the case. I mean, in teaching in general, with teaching, because you cannot be guaranteed that the student's going to understand everything. With medicine, because every single human body is different, and it depends a lot on the mind of the patient as well, so you cannot be guaranteed at the outcome there. And with agriculture as well, because maybe you have a flood, wipes out all your harvest, so the outcome cannot be dependent on the actual worker. However, because the conditions, I mean, I do offer a guarantee with the writing exam, jump to a band 7 or it's free. And I can offer that guarantee, and it goes against that expression that I can offer it, because these are limited conditions. I mean, the writing exam, it's not teaching in general, it's the writing exam. There's some specific criteria, and I can guarantee that you learn those criteria and that you will improve following the sentence guide. So have a look at that. Remember to sign up to the IELTS podcast mailing list, and you'll get lots of tutorials. And you'll also get my email if you've got any problems. So send us an email, we'll work together and we'll get through it. Good luck in your exam. All the best. Jump from band 6 to 7 or it's free. The sentence guide is the answer if you need to pass IELTS fast. Why? Because together we cover the 2 essential skills you need to pass the IELTS exam. Your IELTS exam skills and your English language skills. You get easy to follow instructions which eliminate confusion, frustration, and it makes organising your thoughts really easy. And to improve your English language skills, you send in your essays to me or my team, and we give you feedback showing you how to improve your lexical resource, showing you the errors you might have made. And this practically guarantees that you improve and pass the IELTS exam. Click below to listen to the other students, see what they've said, and then join me together and we can pass IELTS. Okay, speak soon. How to choose your IELTS tutor, and what to ask regarding a private tutor or an academy. Should you go, no, start again. How to choose your IELTS tutor. We're going to look at what to ask the academy or the private tutor, whether you should go for